Is it wrong that I 25 am decided that I don't want to try dating again until my early to mid-30s? Please bear with me as I ramble on for a long time. This is also the simpler version. So, to begin without dumping my guts on here, there has been a lot that has transpired to get to this choice. I got separated about a month ago after my wife cheated on me both digitally and in person. We had been dating for 7 years and married for less than a year. My self-esteem has dropped as a result of this connection. I made this choice since I don't have a lot of dating experience. I've only ever dated and slept with 2 individuals. After my recent divorce, and how low they took me, I don't think I can trust anybody else. I'm now in counseling and have been since the summer, when I discovered she was originally cheating on me and wanted to attempt to save our marriage. I couldn't sleep in my bed during the final 2 years of our marriage, since I worked overnights and snored a lot, so she had me sleep on the sofa. When we did have intimate encounters, I couldn't get into it mentally and had difficulty climaxing, so she would become angry and sometimes shot at me about it. When I tried to get into her and feel her up, she would get angry and claim I should know she has body problems and can't touch her, i.e. hands around her waist or garbing her chest. I was often compared to other males and informed that other men would be more appreciative of a lady who would have as much with them as she wanted. That sparked discussions about leaving the relationship, but we both agreed that we loved each other too much to leave. Now that summer has arrived, she will be checked for STD. I didn't think much of it till she came out and said she tested positive for HIV on a fast test. That's when everything came to light, and I learned about her other lovers and what she was up to while I was at work. We agreed to visit a therapist to straighten things out. She admitted to me a little over a month ago that she was lying about not seeing other people, and that she was lying during treatment as well. Now that the divorce is finalized, she is seeing one of the men with whom she cheated on me, and I feel unable to be in a relationship. In conclusion, is it okay for me to refuse to date or get into another relationship until I am in my early to mid-30s? Right now, I'm simply going to work and trying to establish friends, since I didn't have any before my marriage collapsed. Part of me believes that even if the one appeared now, or in the next several years, I would simply reject them. A number of my colleagues have been pushing me to date again, even offering to help me get started, but I'm sort of shutting down and rejecting the concept right now. I don't want to get harmed again, so I'm going to spend my time with my cat, doing whatever I want and figuring out who I am now. Story 2. Cheating long-term damage. I've been reading heartbreaking tales of infidelity in marriage and have been impressed, mostly, by the suggestions. This article is inspired by them. I'm not searching for suggestions. My narrative is an old one. Everyone is unique and has unique challenges. However, this message may be of assistance to those who are in suffering, as well as those who have caused the agony. I am now 70 years old. I have a gorgeous 14-year-old wife who is considerably younger than I am, but it doesn't seem to matter. I absolutely trust her, even all of the things she may use to harm me. It took around 35 years and a lot of girlfriends for me to be able to commit to another marriage. She is the first lady I've encountered who is willing to be faithful and go through life's ups and downs with me as a complete partner. Cheating would never occur to her. My first wife and I married when we were young and had 2 children. We had some issues as young and inexperienced people do, and decided to take a 6-month break to consider. I had no notion it meant having with other guys in our family home in her thinking. I was in no mental state to date or even approach another lady. As clear as crystal, I recall going back into our house to see my children and wife. Even before I saw anybody, the atmosphere seemed thick and odd. When I discovered the second guy, the mental film of them having sex began. This, I believe, is exacerbated when they have been in an atmosphere you are familiar with. In your imagination, it is clearer. To make matters worse, the familial home atmosphere adds insult to injury. The significance is that the video is still running in high definition after 35 years. The pain has reduced, but it is still an unsettling background noise if it comes to mind. These writings often discuss betrayal and loss of trust as being at the center of the anguish, and they are. However, from a man's point of view, it delves far deeper into primal desires. It speaks to the manly need to defend his family and to fight against all comers. You believe you have failed in a fundamental masculine role. You must repress a raging alpha male reaction, which is not beneficial for your health. I'm not claiming a man's wound is deeper. I can't speak from a woman's point of view. When is abused, it has been at the root of many tragic occurrences throughout history. Murder, conflict, depravity, suicide, misery, and loss are all on the menu. Males in nature struggle and murder for female favors. A male battle to the death was formerly a regular result of human-female adultery. So, here's what you should take away from this. It will never go gone. The footage lasts forever. The agony fades but leaves a permanent scar. Accept that it will take time, a long time, to feel whole again if you are a man. You'll never be able to have the same connection with your wife again. If you cheat, be aware that your actions will have a long-term influence on someone you profess to love. Now that I've experienced genuine mutual love, maybe I can elaborate, if there is genuine love and caring for each other. I believe there is a possibility if the adultery is a momentary lapse and revealed freely and soon. Most of us have been tempted at some point in our lives, and women have an emotional life that a sewer rat may use to seduce them. Story 3. Midlife cheating crisis with 18-year-old. My husband, who has been married to this woman for longer than she has been alive, is presently mad. He met this girl, whom we'll name Kenna, a year ago while playing WoW. WoW is an online addicting game named World of Warcraft for those who haven't had the pleasure. It robs families of their pleasure, money, and time. That is a topic for another article. Returning to the drama. He played WoW with her a year ago when she was 17 years old. He'd claimed she was a fantastic healer. I like assisting her with her problems. Sure, I fell for it. But bear in mind that he was playing in our bedroom, and I could hear almost everything he said when I was home. I worked nights as a nurse at the hospital, and that's when he took full advantage of the situation. In a few months, his personal phone cost for calls to her had tripled. I'd say stuff like, "Yo, she's a minor, what are you doing?" He'd play it off as though to say, "How dare you think it upsets my stomach?" Well, it must have been the pleasant sort of stomach twists, called butterflies, since I watched a number of naked and movies of her masturbating on his phone 3 months ago. Isn't that right? Girls, that's really sophisticated. Or for the males on here, that's hot. Yeah, it's somewhat bad for the wife, so I'll keep going. When I challenged him about the photographs, he said she was just an IG, internet girlfriend who lived 1,000 miles away and that he was only playing with her. However, their communications were full of future plans, with both parties saying things like "I love you" and "can't wait to have your kid within me." At this point, he began to show me everything they texted and sent, and I began to believe him. Well, one day he asked if he could have phoned with her. They'd done it before, but I told him not to do it again. He stated she was becoming estranged, and that he didn't want to lose her just yet. I became enraged, shouted, screamed, and cursed at him before leaving. He texted me throughout the night, apologizing, but I was enraged. He turned me on the following day. He became enraged and refused to speak to me for 4 days. I couldn't stand it any longer after the 4th day. We got into a big disagreement, and he walked to his closet, grabbed his overstuffed luggage and left. He leased a vehicle for $1,500 and spent it on this chick. I'm completely depressed. Now he's back, saying she messed him up. But they regularly chat and he admits he loves her but can't let her go. Please inform me that he is nuts. All feedback is appreciated. P.S. We have 2 teenagers.